Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon.
Welcome po sa DPWH Sorsogon segment, Payamang Gubat, Sorsogon. Today is January 29, 2024. Scheduled for today's pre-bid conference is for the project 24FL0027, construction of road at Barangay San Antonio to Barangay San Ramon, Prieto Diaz and Barangay Bical, Bulan, Sorsogon, and construction of Bariis, Bulan, Banogao, San Antonio, Esperanza Road, Santa Magdalena, Sorsogon, and Manlabong, San Antonio Road, Prieto Diaz, Sorsogon, Cluster 10. Present here today for today's pre-bid conference are the following: Erwin S. Encenares, back chairman; Wilfredo S. Pagado, back vice chairman; Dave Aluya, back member; Bernadette D. Laguna, back member; Nathaniel E. Alegre, at Nathaniel E. Ferratero Jr. from planning section; Nathaniel D. Alegre, back secretariat yan, and IT. Mr. Chair, for today's pre-bid conference, meron na po tayong quorum, may wala pong present na contractor here today.
Okay, good afternoon. Since we have a quorum, this pre-bid conference is now called to order. And the agenda for this pre-bid meeting are as follows: the basic contract data, the guidelines in submission of bids, the requirements of bidding documents, eligibility criteria, the documents to be submitted by the bidder, including the financial and technical proposals, criteria and procedures for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, and award. Question and comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of the procuring entity. The summary of proceedings, including the bid bulletin to be issued, and other matters. To discuss to us the basic contract data is Engineer Ferratero.
Basic contract data for contract ID number 24FL0027, construction of road at Barangay San Antonio to Barangay San Ramon, Prieto Diaz, and Barangay Bical, Bulan, Sorsogon, and construction of Bariis to Banogao to San Antonio to La Esperanza Road, Santa Magdalena, Sorsogon, and Manlabong to San Antonio Road, Prieto Diaz, Sorsogon, Cluster 10. Contract location is at Prieto Diaz, Sorsogon, Bulan, Sorsogon, Barangay San Antonio and La Esperanza, Santa Magdalena, Sorsogon, and Barangay San Antonio to San Ramon, Prieto Diaz, Sorsogon. Brief description: construction of roads. Approved budget for the contract is 88,500,000 pesos. Source of fund is FY 2024 GAA. Contract duration is 261 calendar days. The cost of bidding documents is 50,000 pesos. Submission of bids is scheduled on February 12, 2024 until 10 a.m. and the opening of bids is at 10 a.m. on February 12, 2024, immediately after closing the receipt of bids. Major category of work, the code is RCP. So for the next slide, you have the sample of the bill of quantities and the sample of the bid data sheet. All of these are downloadable through the DPWH website or at the PhilJobs website. Next slide, the minimum manpower requirement. For project manager, the minimum years of experience required is 5 years. Project engineer, 5 years. Materials engineer, 3 years. Safety health officer, 1 year. And foreman, 3 years. Minimum equipment requirement. For dump truck, the required number of units is 4 units. Payloader, 2 units. Bulldozer, 1 unit. Backhoe, 2 units. Chainsaw, 1 unit. Backhoe with crane and breaker, 1 unit. Motorized road grader, 1 unit. Vibratory roller, 1 unit. Water truck pump, 2 units. Transit mixer, 2 units. Concrete vibrator, 2 units. Concrete batch plant, 1 unit. Concrete spreader, 1 unit. Concrete saw, 1 unit. Bar cutter, 1 unit. Bar bender, 1 unit. 1 bagger mixer, 4 units. Cargo truck, 1 unit. Plate compactor, 1 unit. Applicator machine, 1 unit. Kneading machine, 1 unit. Welding machine, 1 unit. And joint sealer machine, 1 unit. So for the next slide, you have the sample of the special conditions of contract and some samples of the plans. Again, all of these are downloadable through the DPWH website or at the PhilJobs website. So we have here the sample plan for the construction of Manlabong to San Antonio Road, Prieto Diaz, Sorsogon. We have here the location map, vicinity map, the straight line diagram of the proposed works, and some typical roadway cross sections. So next, we have for the construction of Bariis to Banogao to San Antonio to La Esperanza Road, Santa Magdalena, Sorsogon. Again, we have the location map and the vicinity map, the straight line diagram of the proposed projects, and some typical roadway cross-sections, and some details of the slope protection works. Next is for the construction of road, Barangay Bical, Bulan, Sorsogon. We have here the location map and the vicinity map, the straight line diagram, and some typical roadway cross-sections. And lastly, we have for the construction of road, Barangay San Antonio to Barangay San Ramon, Prieto, Diaz, Sorsogon, the vicinity map and the location map, the straight line diagram of the proposed works, and some typical roadway cross-sections. Again, all of these are downloadable through the DPWH website or at the PhilJobs website. So for the next slide, it will be discussed by Engineer Almeida.
Submission and receipt of bids. Bids should be submitted in the back office on the date, time specified in the bidding documents. Bid validity should be 120 calendar days. Bid po natin ay sinusunod natin ang 2 envelope system. 1 envelope for the eligibility and technical documents and another for financial proposal, all sealed in the mother envelope. Yan po ang laban naman po ng ating original bid. Dapat pong mark the original bid. Yung isang envelope po, laman po yung technical and eligibility documents or the other documents, mark original financial documents, all sealed, marked original bid. Each envelope shall contain the name of the contract ID, name of project, address of the bidders, recipient bank, procuring entity, and the mark do not open before the date and time specified in the bidding documents. Nag-require po kami ng copy ng bids. Ganyan rin po ang ating sealing. All sealed din po sa copy bid. Lahat ng bid naman po yan, ang original and the copy bids are sealed po sa one mother envelope. Mark po ng bid natin. Sealing and marking of bids. Unsealed, unmarked bids shall not be accepted. Not compressed, not password protected shall not be accepted. Improperly sealed and marked bid envelopes are not properly compressed and password protected will be accepted provided that the bidder is or its duly authorized representative shall acknowledge such condition of the bid as submitted. So improperly sealed, marked, improperly compressed, and password protected, i-accept po provided po na i-acknowledge ng bidder ang kanyang bid ay submitted as submitted po. For electronic submission of bids po, ay through electronic bids po, yan po ay through GPPB po online portal https://gppb.gov.ph.com. Guidelines to electronic means, two-factor security procedure, archive and password protected, allow access to a password protected bidding documents. Password shall be disclosed by the bidders only during the actual opening of bids. Capable of generating an audit trail of transactions. Submission and receipt of bids. Modification of bids. Before the deadline of submission of bids, bidder shall not be allowed to retrieve its original bid. Submit new bid equally sealed, properly identified, linked to its original bid, and marked as modification. For withdrawal of bids naman po, withdrawal of bids must be received prior to the deadline of submission and receipt of bids. For bids withdrawn within the interval between the deadline and expiration of bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. For electronic bid submission, bidders shall send another bid equally secured, properly identified, and labeled as modification of the one previously submitted. The time indicated in the latest bid receipt generated shall be the official time for submission of bids. So ayan po, meron po tayong two modes of submission of bid. A bidder may opt only one mode lang po sa pag-submit ng bid. It's either manual submission of bid or electronic submission of bid. For manual submission bid, yan po sa Box Secretariat Office, DPWH Sorsogon 2nd, kaya Bulan Sorsogon. For electronic bids naman po, yan po sa electronic bids _Sorsogon 2 at dpwh.gov.ph. Bidding requirements sa bidding documents. Ang mga documents po ito ay nakapost po sa DPWH websites and sa PhilJobs to aid our contractors in preparation of their bids. Ang mga documents po ito ay instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid data sheet, specifications, drawings, bill of quantities, and sample forms. Eligibility criteria. To be eligible to participate in the bidding of the said project, a bidder must be a duly licensed Filipino citizen for sole proprietorship, partnerships duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, and of which at least 60% of the interest belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Corporations duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, and of which at least 60% of the outstanding capital stock belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Cooperatives are organized under the laws of the Philippines, or persons, entities forming themselves into a joint venture as per section 23.4.2.1 of the IR. Foreign bidders may be eligible to participate in accordance with the guidelines issued by the GPPB as per section 23.4.2.2 of the IR. Bidders must have a valid PICAM license, must have a single largest completed contract that is similar to the contract to be bid, at least 50% of the ABC. Contractors under small A and small B categories without similar experience, provided that the cost of the contract to be bid is not more than the ARCC of registration. Bidders must have an NFCC at least equal to the ABC. Eligibility and technical documents to be submitted by the bidders. We encourage our bidders to enroll in our civil work application to facilitate the fast evaluation of their eligibility. However, if they have not yet enrolled in the CWA, these are the documents they have to submit. Class A legal documents, PhilJobs Certificate of Registration, Mayor's Permit, DTI Tax Clearance, PICAM License and Registration, Statement of Ongoing Government and Private Contracts, Statement of Single Largest Completed Contract, Computation of the NFCC, Valid Joint Venture Agreement if applicable. Bid security in a form of cash or money check, bank draft, bank guarantee, surety bond, bids or bid security declaration. Project requirements, organizational chart for the contract to bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units, owned, leased, or under purchase agreement, omnibus sworn statement. Eligibility requirements, Class A legal documents, as per GPPB Resolution Number 15, 2021, tinit na po ang suspension and the implementation of mandatory submission of PhilJobs Certificate of Platinum Registration and Membership in Competitive and Limited Source Bidding. So required po na dapat ang ating bidders ay meron pong Platinum Membership sa ating PhilJobs Certificate of Registration. Class A Technical Documents, yan po yung Statement of Ongoing Contracts, Statement of the Single Largest Completed Contract, Valid PICAM License, Special PICAM License for Joint Venture for Inframarket. Yan. Class A Financial Documents, Net Financial Contracting Capacity or the NFCC. Class B Documents, in case of joint venture agreement entered into parties, dapat po nakatouch po ang ating joint venture agreement sa ating bid. Mayor's concern naman po natin sa ating Mayor's Permit. Recently expired Mayor's Business Permit shall be accepted together with the OR. Renewal Permit shall be submitted as post-qualification requirements in accordance with the guideline with section 34.2 of the IRR. Submission of the receipt for renewal of tax clearance will not suffice in lieu of a valid tax clearance requirement. So kailangan po talaga natin mag-submit ng tax clearance, hindi po magsusuffice ang BIR receipt. Submission of provisionary tax clearance issued by the BIR for bidding purposes is not acceptable for tax clearance. So, kailangan po talaga natin ng tax clearance. Statement of ongoing government and private contracts. Statement of the bidder of all ongoing government private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. The statement shall include all information required in the bidding documents. Statement of the single largest completed contract or ating SLCC. SLCC completed should be similar to the contract to be bid or has the same major categories of work. SLCC's value should be at least 50% of the ABC to be bid upon adjustment of the current prices using the PSA cost consumer price indices. Contractor under small a and small b categories without similar experience with the contract to be bid may participate if the cost of the contract to be bid is not more than the ARCC of registration. Valid PCAB license, special PCAB license, registration for the type and cost of contract to be bid should be valid at the time of the deadline for the submission and opening of bids. Sa bid security naman po, mamimilang lang po ang ating bidder ng one form lang po. Either cash or manager's check, 2% po, bank draft, bank guarantee, revocable letter of credit, issued by universal bank or commercial bank, 2% din po yan. For surety bond, callable upon demand, dapat po 5% of the ABC. Or you can submit po yung bid securing declaration as per GPPB's Circular number 16, 2020. Yan po ang ating format ng ating bid securing declaration. Okay, number 16, 2020. Yan na po. Omnibus sworn statement din po. Okay, sunod na lang po ang omnibus sworn statement na naka-attach po sa GPP Resolution number 16, 2020. Dapat po lahat ng mga items yan ay nakalugod po sa ating omnibus sworn statement. Per financial envelope naman po, ang laman po niyan ay bid form, summary bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of materials, labor, and equipment, cash flow by quarter, month, and payment schedule. Other documents required in the bidding documents. For detailed evaluation of the bid naman po, ang purpose po natin is to determine the lowest calculated bid, establish the correct calculated prices for bids, ranking calculated total bid prices from lowest to highest. Ang method po natin is a non-discretionary criterion which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. Results shall be contained in the abstract of bids. Unless the instruction to bidders specifically allows partial bids, those not providing all the required items shall be considered non-responsive. Placing a no price is considered non-responsive. Specifying a zero or dash means it is offered for free. For detailed evaluation of bids naman po, bid prices versus bid prices in words shall prevail. Total price per item versus unit price for the item times the quantity. The unit price for the item times the quantity shall prevail. Stated total price versus the actual sum of the prices of component items. The actual sum of prices of component items shall prevail. Unit cost in the detailed estimate versus the unit cost in the bill of quantities. The unit cost in the bill of quantities shall prevail. Reminders lang po sa ating mga bidders that during po evaluation, the prohibition on communication with bidders from bid evaluation until awards. Yun ang contract rule po natin yan. For post-qualification naman po, ang purpose po niyan is to determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents to be declared as the lowest calculated bid. Ang method po natin yan is a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion which shall include to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents submitted by the lowest calculated bid. Okay. Kaya po Mr. Chair.
Okay na? Okay. Since we have no other matters to be discussed, this pre-bid conference for today is now adjourned.